Hello, shalom, salam, and hola. My name is Michael, and this is Hot Jewish Energy. Welcome to the season 2 finale of Hot Jewish Energy podcast. This is Hot Jewish Energy. I selfishly always start and end the season with myself. I want to sit down and have a conversation with a friend, and I think it's just a really great way of starting and ending the season. I want it to be just as intimate as it can be. Today, I think I'm going to have like a mix of topics. I was kind of debating if I wanted to talk about when I was in Israel when the Iran war was happening, since I already talked about it on another podcast with my friend Max, but I don't really know if I want to get too much into depth with it because I already did, but I think for the sake of my audience, I think I should. But we're going to talk about that, and we're just going to talk about life and the future and how scary it is, because I'm definitely panicking because I'm about to finish school in less than a year and my time in school is going to be done, and it's nerve-wracking. It's like I'm about to actually start my life. But let's talk about Israel. Since I last saw you guys, I have been to Israel 3 times since the war started. The first time that I went in June of 2024. I went with an amazing organization called The Wider Bridge. We went on a Pride Solidarity mission to Beersheba, which is in southern Israel in the Negev. And we got to learn about the queer community there, which is small but mighty, and they are incredible. They have a beautiful Pride house. And we just really got to grasp what it is like for queer people in Israel. Because although it is the most accepting place in the Middle East for LGBTQ plus people, they go through struggles too, and they have had to fight for their rights. People think that just because you're in a democracy means you have everything handed to you on a silver platter, and that's not the case. Israelis have really had to fight for their rights. They have had to ask for things. They've had to fight for things in court. And the LGBTQ plus people in Beersheba, they have had to do a lot of that work within their own area that maybe a lot of queer people haven't had to do. And it was just very eye-opening to see that and to realize that and to hear their stories and their experiences and how they've had to build the presence and respect that they currently have over decades, and that they really saw that change happening within the last 10 years. They went from not being able to have events out in public to having a Pride festival outside the mayor's building of Beersheba. It's astonishing. It really is. And I have so much respect for them. My second trip to Israel after the war, I am fortunate enough that I get to be on a council that's sponsored by the president of Israel, Isaac Herzog. It's called Voice of the People. I'm a council member on there. And basically, Voice of the People is an initiative to help solve common problems within the Jewish community around the world. They bring in 150 people from Israel, the United States, and outside of those 2 places, 50 from each sector. And we're put in subgroups within this council, and we're tasked with solving an issue that's posed as one of the main issues that we're having to face within the Jewish community. Can't give too much info about it because it is not for the public, but there's some amazing work going on. And I'm still trying to find my footing in it. I'm still trying to see where I fit in. And because it's so many different people from so many different walks of life, but I'm just trying to go with the flow and trying to give my expertise where I can. But I got to go to a conference that they had. This was in March of this year, and we were in Haifa. I've been to Haifa before. It's beautiful. I love going to Haifa. Haifa is such a beacon of diversity within Israel. There are Arabs, Christians, Baha'i that are there serving at the Baha'i temple, and Jews all living side by side. And it's so cool. It's so cool. And it's such a big F you to the people who say that Israel does not have diversity when they do, and they cherish it, and they make it like a pillar within their country. Diversity is a pillar within Israel. And that's what makes me proud of Israel. Now, the third time that I went after the war, I went on another Pride mission with Jewish Federations of North America, which was a very jam-packed trip. It was very, very cool. There were a lot of different things that I didn't get to do on the last Pride mission that I went on with A Wider Bridge. and I got to meet some really amazing people. We had 100 LGBTQ plus people from across North America come on this trip, and it was absolutely magical. It was memorable. It was so relieving to be in community and to be in a space where I felt seen for all different parts of myself. And at that point, I had been to the Nova site 3 times. Well, no. Oh my God, I'd been 4 times. That's a lot of trauma. I went with a wider bridge on that first Pride mission back in June of 2024. I went to the Nova site, and we also went to the car lot. I had been to the Nova site again with the Voice of the People conference. I'd been to the Nova site a 3rd time with my mom because I had gone to Israel 2 weeks prior to this mission to do a little vacation with my mom, and she wanted to see the Nova site and take a tour of the area and really just see what she felt she needed to see, which I think everybody needs to go see what happened and to see the site. And this was my 4th time going. Every time I go, I always find something new. And this time around, this trip to Israel, this 3rd trip, I really made it a priority to do a lot of research because I am in the middle of research for my thesis. And I really wanted to honor the victims in a way that I felt was going to work in the context of my thesis. I wanted it to be meaningful. I wanted it to be something that I could build upon. And I started really reading in depth about every single person that was killed at the Nova site. And there were a few stories that really resonated with me and that I really want to incorporate into creating a character to immortalize this person in a piece of work and a piece of art. I'm looking forward to doing it. I'm looking forward to honoring that person, and I'm looking forward to creating something from that. I'm getting emotional again. I always think about the Nova site, whenever I think about the Nova site, and this happened when the attacks had happened right away in 2023, I thought to myself, there are so many young people that their life got cut short. So many people my age, so many people younger than me. And it makes you so sad that so many futures were destroyed. And it makes you think that could have been me, that could have been my friend, that could have been my family member. And it just puts a lot of things into perspective. And every time that I've gone back, I've really absorbed more than I did than the time that I went before. Specifically, I believe it was the 3rd time that I went with the conference. And we heard from one of the mothers of one of the victims of the massacre. And ironically, it was so weird. It was like cosmic because it's a very uncommon birthday. The victim had the same birthday as me. And I thought, because we were given specific parents to speak with, I just thought to myself, this isn't just a coincidence. It has to be something deeper. And I just thought that was so freaky. The 3rd trip, the 2nd Pride mission, it was supposed to culminate in us going to Tel Aviv Pride and marching in the parade. The official mission ended on Thursday, and we had this goodbye reception. It was just so full circle, and we were on the rooftop of the Sheraton looking at the Mediterranean Sea and the sunset, and I thought to myself, I never want this to end. I never want this to end. And how lucky am I to be here in one of the most beautiful places in the world with a community that has literally saved me. And that's probably one of the happiest times I've ever had. That Israel trip, I did not have a care in the world. Did not have a care in the world. That was one of the freest times one of the times that I've felt the freest. And it was a gift. It was a true gift. Then nighttime came around. Ironically, I had therapy at night. I had my therapy. And then at 1:30 in the morning, or was it 2:30? I don't even remember. It was the early hours of the morning. I get a notification on my phone. I thought it was the Houthis again, because at that point I had experienced 4 different rocket launches from the Houthis, and I was like, these bitches don't sleep. So I was prepared to go into the shelter, would be there for 30 minutes, and then come back up, and everything's dandy, and we're going to have a beautiful day tomorrow. It wasn't the case with this. It said, please be on standby for a special announcement. And I was like, what kind of fucking thing is going on? What is going on? And then I was in the stairwell waiting to hear what I needed to do. I wasn't in the shelter yet. This is in the hotel. And I think I got a call from my mom or a text from my mom, and Israel had launched something at Iran. They launched something at one of their power plants or one of their nuclear sites. And I was like, my gosh, of course this is happening while I'm here. But then we went down to the bunker, which was such a bougie bunker. It was the most decked out luxe bunker I had ever seen. Food stations if there needed to be food. There was Wi-Fi, TV, couches. It was like a whole thing. We waited in there to hear what was going on, and then we saw Netanyahu on the news, on the TV, and everybody's in their PJs. It's fluorescent lighting. It was crowded around the TV. I looked around and I thought to myself, this looks like we're in a dystopian movie. This looks like it is the end of the world, and we're just sitting here waiting for the world to end. We were finally given the notice that we could go back to our rooms. We just needed to be by a bunker, and nothing happened for about a day. I left the hotel. I went to my family friend's house because I didn't know what was going on, and I just wanted to be with them at that point in time. And initially, I was supposed to just stay for Shabbat dinner and go back to the apartment that I was staying in, their family apartment that I was staying in. But then the siren went off again. And by the way, as we all know, Tel Aviv Pride was canceled. Everything was not happening. Caitlyn Jenner got stuck too. It was a whole thing. But the alarm went off again. I was in their house. And at that point, we were about to prep for a whole night of alarms. And my family friends, they basically said, you're staying in the house tonight. I don't think it's going to be safe for you to stay in the apartment anymore, so you're going to stay tonight. I ended up staying the night. It was a very good decision that I had stayed the night because the apartment that I was staying in didn't really have a true mamad in it. A mamad is a safe room, what you go in if there's an attack, so it protects you if you get hit in the area. They had a mamad in their house, and the day after, I told them, I said, I'm worried to stay in the apartment. And without hesitation, they told me, they said, you're staying with us. We would feel way more comfortable if you're here with us so that we can take care of you. I get emotional every time I talk about this, and it just happened 2 months ago, but I talk about it a lot because the people of Israel are some of the most incredible people I've ever met in my life. And they're my family friends. They're basically my family. The person that I'm friends with, her name's Shai. Shai, if you're watching this, I met her through my birthright trip. She was one of my Israelis on my birthright trip, and we grew so close after that. And her family had done so much for me. They gave me a place to stay. But even before this, I had stayed with them before, but especially in this moment, they took me in such a time of uncertainty. And I stayed with them for a week. They fed me. They gave me shelter. They took care of me. And that was such a fucking scary time. It was so scary. And I know people have said, oh, it wasn't that bad or whatever. It was scary. Even Israelis were scary, and if Israelis are scared and worried, that's saying something because they usually aren't with stuff like this. But Iran was sending all of these new missiles and different types of missiles, and it was a very, very nerve-wracking time. I pretty much stayed in the house the whole week, and they went above and beyond for me. It's also a testament to not only Jewish people, but the people of Israel. I'm talking about the people of Israel, Jewish and non-Jewish. They take you in like your own. And especially in this situation, the warmth of the Jewish community and of the people of Israel, I felt it. And this is even a weirder thing to say. I felt safer there than I did here in New York. I'll explain why. Here in New York, we are having unprecedented rise in anti-Semitism, and you, as an individual, have a choice of how to present yourself outside if you are not as observant. I'm not talking about Orthodox people. I'm not talking about observant people who are outwardly physically Jewish because that is their lifestyle, and that is the way that they live their life. And it's not really a choice for them. I'm talking about people who have a choice. I can decide one day I'm going to take off my Magen David. I'm not going to wear anything that identifies me as Jewish or supportive of Israel. And I probably won't have to face any potential issues because I'm not outwardly Jewish. But the fact that you have a choice in that sense to, I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly. You have a choice whether you can wear your necklace out or not, and whether you're going to potentially cause issues for yourself. Obviously, there are situations where issues have happened even if you're not outwardly Jewish, but I'm talking about for the most part. The situation in Israel, most people are Jewish, and everybody is going through the same situation. So and it's not because you're Jewish. It's everybody's going through the same situation. It's a universal struggle in that country, and it's out of your control. You can't control if they're going to send missiles or not. So in a way, I felt safer because I had no control over the situation. But they took me in, and I had a very difficult decision to make of whether I was going to wait to be rescued by the United States or if I was going to exit via a neighboring country. So ultimately, I did leave through Amman, Jordan. I will give this disclaimer. It is not for everyone. And I am privileged in this situation that I am American and that I can take off any identifying artifacts of me being Jewish and tuck it away. I know that's not the situation for other Jews, for some other Jews, but I was getting very worried. I did not know if the U.S. was actually going to come and take us out of there. At that point, the U.S. had already gotten involved, and I was like, okay, I need to leave because I do not want to be here when shit goes down, especially since the U.S. got involved. So we went through Jordan. We actually went through Judea and Samaria, what you might commonly known as the colonial name West Bank, which was given by Jordan when they illegally occupied the region. We went through Judea and Samaria and Jericho, and we went through the Jordanian border crossing. I was told on our way there that I could not have any Jewish artifacts on me, not even in my luggage, because there have been issues at the border of Jordanian border patrol confiscating things. It is not I don't believe it is the law of the country, but they will confiscate things if they feel that they want to. So I got very worried because I was told that it just couldn't be on me physically, but that it could be in my luggage. So it's just crazy what you think about when you're in a situation where you might have things taken away from you. Literally, the only thing that I was worried that they were going to confiscate was my Magen David necklace that my mom gave me. They don't make it anymore. Ironically, she got it from Costco, literally the least luxurious place, but it's a beautiful necklace. It's yellow and white gold. It's literally, I hold it close to my heart. And they could literally take anything they wanted from me. They could take my money. They can take my credit cards. They could take my ID. They could take my Jimmy Choo loafers. They could literally take anything that they wanted, but I could not let them take that necklace. Thankfully, I got through, shoved it in my luggage and hoped for the best. And God miraculously did his magic, and I made it through without anything being confiscated. We were in Jordan for a few hours. We had dinner at this lovely restaurant, and I then began my journey out of the Middle East. I took a flight from Jordan to Abu Dhabi, UAE, and at that point, I felt the tension dissipate because UAE is an ally of Israel and the United States. Even though Jordan is an ally of both places, UAE is definitely friendlier to Jewish people. So I was not worried of there being any issues. And I was in UAE for about 6 hours, stayed in a nice airport lounge that I paid for and took a shower. It was very nice. And then I got on my flight back to New York. I landed in New York same day, later in the day, and I felt a very deep sense of depression. I did not want to leave the way that I left. I was very sad. And I felt really bad for leaving. It took me about a few weeks to get reacclimated in New York. I had been out of the country for a month already, and I had a really rough time. I was feeling very upset, and I was supposed to be in Israel till mid-July, and this whole thing got cut short because of that war. And I guess I'll just finish it off with this. I don't think anyone will ever understand what Israelis are truly going through if you haven't seen it for yourself and been through it. I don't know how they deal with that. Having to basically live a significant portion of your life in a bomb shelter. The things that does to you mentally, they are truly some of the strongest people I have ever known. With that said, I don't know what's going to happen. Just in general, the war is accelerating at such a pace that is very scary. Currently, they're saying that that Israel is going to occupy Gaza again. Currently, as of the filming of this episode, which is August of 2025. I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm scared. I think we're all scared, or at least most of us are scared. I don't even know most of us. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me and a handful of people. I don't know, but I am freaked out. And what makes me even more nervous is not knowing what's going to happen. I think we all have a fear of not knowing what's going to happen. I'm very disappointed in the way things are going, especially here in the States. Things are progressively getting worse. I'm just very disappointed in my industry as well. The entertainment industry has become so toxic. This war has infiltrated so many parts of it, entertainment as a whole, and it's very, very disappointing. People that I've looked up to not speaking out for the hostages who are starving in Gaza, and only speaking out for the Palestinians who are starving, and they claim that they support all innocent people who are starving. It's fake. A lot of this just seems very fake, and it's just, I never thought we would get to this point. If you asked me 2 years ago if I thought we would be where we are now, I probably would have laughed. But it's definitely taken a toll on me. I can't say that I'm as mentally healthy as I was 2 years ago. Being online is a gift and a curse at the same time. Being chronically online, having a platform, it's not for everyone. There are times where I think to myself, why am I still doing this? Am I really making a change? Am I really making any type of impact? And I always have to keep telling myself, you just have to keep trying. That's all you can do. You just got to keep trying. And that's what I'm going to continue doing. If God will give me the strength to do it, because I have to deal with so many dipshits every single day. But then there are so many amazing, phenomenal people that I interact with that give me words of encouragement. And those messages mean more to me than the hate does. Well, you know what I'm saying. The downfall of the hate that I receive and the way that it affects me negatively does not overpower the positiveness that I receive. And I know that's not the case for a lot of people, but I'm just happy to have a little space that I can call my own and share in that joy with other people, and they can enter the space if they want to. And I'm just grateful. I'm really, really grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be alive. I think about that even more so after having experienced the, what Trump calls the 12-day war. I'm grateful. I want to thank you guys for listening, for being here, for supporting me, whether it's online, through the podcast, or both. I'm very happy to be here. And there are some days where I'm not happy to be here, but for the most part, I am happy to be here. That is it for this season of This is Hot Jewish Energy, Season 2. Season 3 will come at some point. I don't know when. Don't ask me. I don't know. There is going to be a major overhaul of this podcast. I really want to bring it in line with with how things are currently on my page, branding wise and feel wise, because that connects with me more than the current format. But you can keep up with me on Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, at Hot Jewish Energy, at Hot Jewish Energy Podcast, at Michael T. Valdes with an S at the end. Again, thank you for being here. I'm sending you lots of positive energy, and may we have peace. As much as they say that we don't advocate for that, I advocate for that whenever I can. I hope to God that we have peace. I hope we have dignity for all innocent people, especially the people of Israel and the innocent people in Gaza, the Palestinians who just want to have peace. I hope that we can have peace. I hope that we can have prosperity, joint future, that evil is eradicated. I think we all hope for that. That's it for now. I'll see you on the next one. And I'm Yisrael Chai. Thank you for watching. This is Hot Jewish Energy. If you like this episode, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share your favorite moment in the comments. If you're on any of the podcasting platforms, give us a 5-star rating, and let us know your favorite part of the show. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.